Welcome to another edition of the Turnpike Sports Book Report. I'm Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. We're here to give you a whip-around look at some of the latest news coming out of the sports betting industry. Press releases, info at turnpikesportsradio.com. Please keep those coming in. We love hearing from everybody out in the industry. You can watch us on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV. You can even watch us on our website, turnpikesports.us. We're right on the homepage every Monday morning. You'll see the book report broadcasting there. If you want to listen to us audio-wise, you can subscribe via Amazon Music, Samsung Podcasts, as well as Pandora Podcasts. This week, state and national reports. We've got a few final notes for the September National Sports Betting Report.
Just absolutely huge numbers.
Yes. We've got November benchmarks from Oregon, Montana, Maine, West Virginia, and a new record set by our old favorite, New York State.
They are tearing it up this fall, by the
Yes.
way. The industry up there is incredible.
Over in the deals, we've got another North Carolina sports betting deal, especially with the sports betting industry inching closer to its launch. We've got a self-exclusion partnership to talk about from Ohio, as well as another U.S. integrity deal to talk about. Then in industry updates, we've got a new fantasy product to discuss. We've got a new B2B product from Genius Sports, as well as various launches and openings to discuss as well. And then we're going to finish up the show with our legislative roundup with news coming out of North Carolina, Florida, California, and New York State.
Okay.
We're going to start our state and national reports right after this.
Interest rates and inflation are out of control. Is your credit card debt also out of control? It's time to resolve your debt and take back control for a lot less than what you owe. If you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt, then you need to call us right now. Debt Fix Pros can significantly reduce the amount you owe, and you could be debt-free faster than you think.
I knew we had to do something. Our debt was growing.
It was getting out of control, and we just didn't know what to do.
We saw an ad for Debt Fix Pros. We called, and they showed us how fast they could get us out of debt.
It really was amazing, and now we're back in control.
Call now, and we'll show you how easy it is to fix your debt. The call and consultation are free. Call Debt Fix Pros right now at 800-479-3522. That's 800-479-3522. 800-479-3522.
Attention. If you owe back taxes to the IRS, watch this urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by hiring 87,000 new agents to garnish your paycheck and put liens on homes and businesses. They can even seize your bank account. The IRS calls it enforced compliance, and now they have the manpower to get you. Penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily. So call One Stop Tax Relief Shop and get the IRS off your back. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. And no other tax shop gets you more or faster approvals. One Stop Tax Relief has resolved thousands of cases since 2014 and saved clients millions of dollars. Call now for a free consultation. Connect with tax professionals who get the IRS off your back.
Call 800-605-0688. 800-605-0688.
One Stop Tax Relief Shop.
Welcome back to the Turnpike Sports Book Report. September was actually a very incredible month for the sports betting industry.
It was huge. It was
Yes.
amazing. September and October are always great. October is, they all have all of the winter sports going, and they're starting. Basketball and hockey are starting. You're ending with baseball, and football's in full swing. So that October is great. September leading into it is always great too.
Well, like you just mentioned, we're here in December, and the September numbers are going to be really interesting to see for October when everybody reports their numbers. We've got a few states out there for that. But regarding September...
are a few of those states Arizona and Illinois?
And Colorado.
Oh, and Colorado.
Colorado's starting to go a little further back.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
We've got September 2023.
Arizona and Illinois are such
Yes.
bad influences on states. That's my take on everything. Yeah.
September marked the fifth time the monthly handle for the nation passed the $10 billion mark. Matter of fact, for September, $11,553,000,000 and some change, but it was the fifth time the nation passed the $10 billion mark. September's handle was 14 times higher than the handle when it was September 2018, the first year of the industry
that
launch.
was
That's an impressive number.
it's
right
really
there.
in its infancy. What was the I kind of the U.S. Supreme Court came down with the in May. Yeah, so yeah, September.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's 14 times up than September of 2018. It should be. So,
Yes.
but
More states, more.
but
more business.
I don't think we thought it'd be up. We thought it'd be
No
up,
one thought it'd be
certainly,
up this
but
high.
not
No.
this high. So
6 states in September recorded monthly record handles. 13 states had year-over-year increases of $50 million or more in September of 2023.
all right.
New York, New Jersey, and Illinois each passed the $1 billion handle mark for the month. So it was very interesting to see where those numbers are. And if you look at the overall year, in light of September's numbers, when we have October, November here, everyone is anticipating at least $300 billion by year's end in terms of handle.
Okay.
That's an incredible number.
Yeah. No.
Going into the
Look, you were talking about May of 2018. There's no way I would have seen these numbers. I mean, certainly they'd be high, but I don't think, New York is, we're going to talk about it, but it's just incredible. And if California and Texas ever got off the bench with regard to sports betting, these numbers will be astronomical.
well, we're going to the individual states now. We've got November. We're time traveling. We're 2 months now.
Okay.
So we were just talking September. Here we have November. State of Oregon. Really, the only thing of note that was amazing to me was
Wait, before I said, is it my favorite sport from Oregon? Oh, okay.
They stopped reporting that.
Oh, they stopped reporting
Yes.
table tennis numbers?
Yes,
Okay.
they don't break it down anymore.
Oh, okay.
But we have State of Oregon reporting that parlays accounted for 34% of the total handle and 55% of the revenue for the state in the month of November.
Well, the parlays are big business. I mean, when we're talking about there's a transitioning from sports betting operators from customer acquisition to profitability, they're really focusing on being profitable. The parlays is the tool for the sports books.
Montana, November numbers with their November sports betting report. Montana's all-time handle passed $175 million.
Okay.
Not bad for a small sports
sure,
betting state,
sure,
if you want to
sure.
call it that. Maine published their first full month of sports betting numbers
Okay.
for the month of November.
All right.
As a matter of fact, we've got numbers for their first 35 days in operation. But for the month of November, state of Maine reported a handle of $37.6 million and more than $4.5 million in adjusted gaming revenue.
I haven't really been following the sports betting news in Maine, but is that what they expected? Are they pleased with that, or have they?
I think any money coming in right
just
now,
threw
because
out
retail
the-
hasn't launched yet, so
Oh,
they want to
okay,
see what
so-
happens
all
with
right,
retail.
okay.
DraftKings accounted for 81% of the total handle. Caesars had the rest. 23% of DraftKings handle
in Maine, right?
in Maine happened on Sundays. That month of November, just Sundays.
Interesting.
Yes. So
Did they break it down? It's New England, so is
they
when
didn't
you
break it
think
down
Sundays
by betting
in New
on
England.
teams,
Are
but
they talking about
it's football. It's football.
It's probably football.
In terms of overall,
I was going to say, is it the
performance-
Patriots kind of betting?
No.
So,
In terms of overall performance for the state, at the time we're recording this, they had 35 days of sports betting reported, just a little over a month, 44.9 million in handle. That's online sports betting only.
okay.
DraftKings has a handle of 36.5 million over those 35 days. Caesars generated 8.3 million.
Well, DraftKings rules New England. First off, their corporate headquarters are in Boston.
They own New Hampshire.
In New Hampshire, they are basically the only sports book there. Because New Hampshire only has mobile, and I would guess their influence in Maine would be pretty, substantial.
Real quick here, West Virginia, they're in November. With their November report, the year-to-date handle passed $400 million, and year-to-date revenue passed $40 million.
Great.
Here we have New York. Now, last month in October, they set a national monthly handle record of just over $2 billion. Here they reported their November numbers, and they have yet again set the national monthly handle record for sports betting.
And this is national. This is
a national record.
This
2.1 billion.
Wow.
$2,109,294,400.
One state did that.
Yes. It's also
we're talking about Montana and Oregon and Maine, but New York is doing $2.1 billion in 1 month.
These are more impressive numbers if you think about this. State also recorded third straight month of at least $150 million in gross gaming revenue, $70 million in adjusted gaming revenue, and at least $75 million in taxes generated over
which is the big
third
number.
straight month. Third straight month of doing that.
It's the big number for the state.
Also, with the November numbers, the state's mobile industry passed the $12 billion mark in terms of fiscal year-to-date handle.
Okay.
That's only from April 4th to now.
Okay.
So not even a full year, they've already passed $12 billion in handle.
That's why I said before, boy, if California and Texas and even Florida get off the bench and start doing some stuff in sports betting, and so
last two benchmarks, FanDuel was past the $900 million in monthly handle mark for the first time, and DraftKings passed $700 million in monthly handle for the second time.
Wow.
That's it for the state and national reports. Let's head on over to some deals. With North Carolina's sports betting industry getting ready for its launch sometime in early 2024, post-Super Bowl, possibly pre-March Madness, we have another sports betting deal to announce. Penn Entertainment has announced that it entered into a long-term, multifaceted partnership, that's their phrasing, with Quail Hollow Club and the Wells Fargo Championship.
Okay.
The partnership with the golf course and PGA Tour. Under North Carolina law, you need to have a written partnership agreement with sporting venues or sporting teams to actually even have market access to it.
That's what makes North Carolina so interesting. All these deals are coming out even before sports betting starts because in order to gain access in the state, a sports betting operator has to make these deals.
Well, they just opened up the window for applications, so they have to make the deals.
They have to make the deals.
Yes. Under the deal, ESPN Bet will become the official exclusive sports betting operator of the Wells Fargo Championship and will be allowed to have on-site marketing materials at the tournament.
Wow, okay.
Also, it's kind of interesting. This is now, I believe it's the second deal we've been talking about. I know Bet365 did a deal with the Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah, they did a Hornets deal.
Yes, so we're starting to see the partnerships come into play here.
I know it's the landscape is filling in, so it's going to be an interesting couple of weeks. It should really be fun.
It'll be very interesting to see if the partnerships with FanDuel and DraftKings with the PGA Tour carry over into North Carolina. See if since they've already had an existing partnership, I wonder if they're going to have to renew some partnerships for North Carolina itself to become validated for the North Carolina licenses.
All the gaming lawyers are going to be busy writing up the partnership agreements this week.
Over in Ohio, we have a company called Timeout Ohio, which offers individuals the ability to ban themselves from Ohio's brick-and-mortar casinos and racinos.
Okay.
They announced
from the actual casinos,
physical.
Okay, good.
They announced a partnership with GameBan, GAMBAN, to offer both brick and mortar and online self-exclusion procedures.
Great, good.
It's all for free, and Ohio is the first state in the U.S. to offer this kind of support and protection. GameBan will help you block the online apps on your phones or mobile devices. And Timeout Ohio will work with GameBan to self-exclude from the retail operations.
Sounds good.
Over in the NCAA, we have U.S. Integrity announcing a partnership with the Big East Conference. U.S. Integrity will provide the conference with monitoring software and tools to help protect the integrity. Protect the integrity of competitions and also educating student athletes, coaches, and staff. Also, the partnership will allow access to educational materials for everybody in terms of the athletic departments and the school itself.
You know what? That's one of those conferences that probably will not have to change their name. I'm joking around because there's a big shift in teams in different conferences for the NCAA and the Big East. Okay, good, we can keep that. But when you have like a number in your conference name, Pac-12, there's not going to be 12 teams. So there's going to have to be these name changes going across the country.
Last deal of the week, we have Grid and Riot Games entering into an expanded partnership. Riot and Grid had already previously been working on a partnership for the Valorant Championship tournaments, Valorant Championships Tour. They are now expanding it to not just Valorant, but to League of Legends, which means Grid will now be the only distributor of real-time official data for Riot Games esports tournaments.
Data makes the world go around, so good for them.
That's it for this week in deals. Let's head on over to some industry updates right after this.
Every 40 seconds, a kid is reported missing. Find the Children provides educational material that teaches your kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs are very successful in bringing kids back home to their family. You can help protect our kids and bring the missing kids home safe by donating your unwanted car, truck, SUV, or van, running or not. We guarantee you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast free pickup, usually within 24 hours. Over 2,000 kids are reported missing every day. Call now to donate your vehicle. Donate now to bring these kids home safe.
Call 800-934-2260. 800-934-2260. 800-934-2260.
Welcome back to the Turnpike Sports Book Report. Industry updates. We've got a brand new fantasy sports game on the market.
I love the idea of this, by the way.
How is it different?
That's
my big question.
Well,
I like the peer-to-peer.
I like the peer-to-peer. That's if you let me finish.
Okay.
I was going to say I like the peer-to-peer aspect of it. So
It's called DraftKings.
By the way, that's the first time I just read about it. You actually showed me pictures of it, and I don't know where you got the pictures from. I guess from DraftKings.
I'll tell you exactly where I got it from. Okay. Pick6.draftkings.com.
Oh, okay. So it looks very interesting.
Yes.
And I like the peer-to-peer aspect of it.
Yeah, it's a new variant for fantasy sports.
And I'm going to make a prediction.
I'm
going to make a prediction. There's going to be I'm sure FanDuel is working on something like this too. They have to be. Yeah. So that's only my my thought process, my prediction.
The entire variant's based around the simple more or less mechanic for individual player statistics.
Sure.
This is a response to what's going on in the industry right now with the sports betting style pick'em games that are being, I guess, looked at very hard is a good way to.
Yeah, well, the first time I had experienced it was the now defunct Monkey Knife Fight, where they had, two players in a particular contest. I think what was happening, and I'm not really sure. I think the issue is there's only these other predictive games that are being looked at closely, or there's only one player there.
Right.
So it's more like a prop bet than a over-under contest between two players. So
Right. This is
that
basically
seems to be the problem.
This is basically the same idea, but it's player versus player, not player versus house. And that's where the difference is coming in.
When you say player,
Peer-to-peer, player
customer
versus
customer,
customer versus customer.
not the players on the field, the customer versus customer, that peer-to-peer aspect of it.
So they made this available. It's launched. It's for NFL and NBA contests right now. They're anticipating expanding it to other sports at some point. And it's legal right now, or operating, I should say. Legal, I guess it's legal.
It's like
too.
6 states, right? Or
Maryland, Minnesota, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Wisconsin, and they are anticipating more states to follow.
Good, because I check it out. New
Yes.
Jersey, I always enjoyed that kind of thing with Monkey Knife Fight. I guess they got bought by Bally's, and actually one time we were in Bally's in Atlantic City. The gift shop in the casino had all Monkey Knife Fight stuff. So yeah, I can't wait to try it out. Check it out.
And there are a couple different features that are going to be introduced as we go along here, especially one, real-time performance tracking for
nice.
the picks,
I like
not for
that.
the player, not for the customer, but for the player they pick.
All right.
Which that's kind of interesting. That's a new kind of interface.
I kind of like that. Yeah.
That's the one thing I really makes it stand out, I think.
So
we've got a business-to-business product launch here. We've got Genius Sports launching FanHub ID, which, according to Genius, is the first product that can identify solutions for fan advertising across multiple platforms using sports consumption-based profiles.
wow.
That's a mouthful.
That's a hell of an algorithm.
It's a media
there.
buying platform.
That's an algorithm.
It's an all-in-one platform for media buying, fan engagement,
Wow.
analytics.
Okay. Yeah. No. Boy. It's
It's a huge way of saying it's just for media buying and fan engagement tracking.
Yeah, they're really going to track what fans are
Exactly.
looking at and really consuming.
Yes.
I mean that's the insanely simple way
Yes.
of putting it. So
I'm noticing we're starting to see two different avenues of discussion here for sports betting industry. We've got tech speak, and then we've got marketing speak.
yeah.
And somewhere in between is the
right.
actual consumer and individual. So, but again, first product that can identify solutions for fan advertising across multiple platforms using sports consumption-based profiles.
Okay.
Big words.
Yep.
We've got a couple openings to talk about. We've got Churchill Downs opening the Derby City Gaming downtown in Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh, all right.
Their sixth historical racing machine entertainment venue in the state.
Okay.
They had a ribbon cutting and also a charitable donation of $40,000 to Norton Healthcare Foundation. It's a 43,000 square foot, 2-story Kentucky Derby themed entertainment venue, which includes a gaming floor with 500 state-of-the-art historical horse racing machines, as well as 3 different food and drink venues.
Okay. Good.
First Turn Sports Bar and Stage, which will host the property's race and sports book.
Good. Good.
Then you have the Trophy Bar Bourbon and Cigars, which is a cigar bar.
Yeah.
And then you have Fascinator, which is a wine bar.
You know, I like those combinations of race and sports books because not a lot of places have them. You know,
Yes.
it's I think Atlantic City has the only Borgata in Atlantic City has the only race book in Atlantic City, but it's not combined with the sports book. It's across a hall.
Right.
It's across an aisle. So no, I always like those things.
And the Kentucky Derby gift shop, as well as 130 on-site guest parking spaces and an exterior facade, which includes a naked eye 3D video board. You ever see the 3D video boards where things seem to be popping out of the walls?
Okay.
That's what that is.
It was New York has them a lot.
Everyone's
So
got a lot of those. Yeah. Some of the major cities.
Yeah,
this
go
is
to
actually
Times
nice to
Square.
see.
The billboards are reaching out to you.
Yep.
Weird.
Over in North Carolina, we briefly mentioned this a while in the previous segment. Application windows opened. So far, we have 43 requests for license applications have been made at this time. 11 sports betting licenses have been requested. 8 service provider licenses and 24 supplier licenses have been applied for right now. Down in Florida, while the court case is still going on, Hard Rock Bet is now open to the public and everyone can use it.
Great.
Even though a couple of days before the actual official launch, it was actually being used by everybody in Florida. Go figure with that one.
Wow.
Retail rollout, we've got Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Hollywood, Seminole Classic Casino in Hollywood, Seminole Casino Coconut Creek all opened up their retail books, and as well as their other games in Tampa and the locations in Immokalee and Brighton.
Okay.
2 licenses to talk about here. Colorado, Fanatics Betting and Gaming announced they went live in that state.
Great.
That's their 8th state. And then TikTok became one of the latest sports betting registrants in the state of Indiana.
Interesting. TikTok, the
TikTok.
social media thing.
TikTok Inc. is the formal name.
Really?
Yes.
Which state is this?
Indiana.
Indiana. I want to keep an eye on that one. I don't know what that means, but I don't know. See,
It means they're going to have affiliate gaming all the way through.
How's that
all this.
going? I guess so. Yeah, I guess that's what it means. So, but yeah, I'd keep an eye on that one. So.
That's it for the industry updates. Let's head on over to our legislative roundup. Finishing up the show, we're going to hit a familiar theme this episode, North Carolina.
Okay.
The Sports Betting Committee has suggested amending some rules to allow sports betting operators to work with affiliates in the state. Previously, that was not allowed.
Okay, good.
There is going to be no revenue sharing under the proposed rules, very similar to what Massachusetts has.
All right.
Right now, it's been approved by the committee, and it's off to the North Carolina Lottery Commission for final approval if they deem it okay.
Okay.
Over in Florida, we've got a new bill, HB 679, which was filed to legalize and regulate daily fantasy sports in the state.
Okay.
Basically, it's geared toward bringing operators like DraftKings, FanDuel, Prize Picks, and Underdog Sports into a regulated environment and outlines what kind of fantasy contests would be allowed. Surprisingly, it is silent on terms of the pick'em style games.
Okay. Well, I'm sure that's all
Yes.
going to be worked out.
According to the language, all winning outcomes must reflect the relative knowledge and skill of the fantasy sports contest participant.
Okay.
Basically,
That's standard
fantasy,
language.
yeah.
Pretty much,
Yes.
you know, it's as boilerplate as
Yeah.
boilerplate can be. You know?
Prizes and awards must be announced clearly before contest begins, and no graphics, language, or other advertising that includes a depiction of traditional casino games would be allowed in association with advertising for the fantasy sports.
Okay.
Yeah, no
All right.
table games, no slot machines, no cards,
Oh,
dice, that.
Okay.
Over in California, basically every time you see a sports betting proposition filed with the Secretary of State, it's basically dead on arrival. We've got some proponents doing some amendments to their propositions that basically would change the amount of money going to the tribal funds that are being set up for distribution to all Native American tribes in the state. Again, right now, everybody is still saying it's a long shot if at all this is going to work. So we'll see what happens there. And we're going to finish up here in New York State.
All right.
We have the Seneca Nation. The gaming compact with the Seneca Nation, between the Seneca Nation and the state of New York, is coming to an end, but they just agreed to extend it to March 31st. It was supposed to end December 9th.
Okay.
They are now extending it to March 31st. Not sure exactly what they're going to be able to accomplish. They're still running through all these issues with...
It's going to get done.
Yeah,
it
has to get done because there's just too much money at stake for the state, also for the Native American tribe.
Certainly, it's so established in the state, that gaming aspect, so it's got to get done.
I'm just wondering if the Seneca Nation is going to get involved in one of the downstate casinos.
I don't know. It's
Be kinda
interesting. You know,
because
I haven't heard too much about that. I mean, we always get news here in New Jersey about, because Atlantic City is terrified of the Manhattan casinos and the New York City area casinos. But, you know, we're hearing things at, near Met Stadium or City Park or wherever the hell they call it. Well, then Times Square, like if traffic wasn't bad enough, let's put a casino in Times Square. But no, we're hearing a lot of stuff like that. So,
the Seneca Nation, we worked with them when we had an affiliate for the House of Cards show over in Olean, New York.
Oh, yeah, Olean, New York, yeah.
And their biggest concern was Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know exactly what's going to happen
Well,
with the
there-
Seneca Nation
there's-
and the downstate casinos.
There's certainly
so,
Mohegan Sun there in Pennsylvania. So, yeah. So
that's it for this week's Turnpike Sports Book Report. Press releases, info at turnpikesportsradio.com. Keep them coming in. If you've been following along on TV, you've been seeing the ticker fly by us below. That has additional news stories that we didn't have a chance to cover in this half hour. And as always, a full print version will be on our blog, turnpikesports.us. Click on the blog button. That'll be released after this show is put out Monday mornings. Please enjoy the show and look forward to hearing from everybody in the industry each and every week.
And that'll do for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.